process, what role does the internet or information that is easily available play in your design process? Does it play a role, or how does it impact the process of your design?
Well, I think there are two different questions. One is the influence of information technology, including internet, which is just one of the things that has changed, on the design process per se. And the other one is how you run your practice. In my case, my design teams. So I think without the internet, it would not be possible to work as I do. So yesterday evening, I received a drawing from the compound of the National Museum in Afghanistan. Made my remarks and sent it back. And they're working on it as we speak. So I think those kind of scenarios with the good old post and a couple of those other things would not be possible. So I think that is one. The other one is the design process. I think too often older people bash new technologies, saying, oh, you should do hand drawing, you should do sketching, all these things, whatever. You don't do it anymore. Very nostalgic. There's nothing wrong with software, with computers, with, it's great. It's there. But it's a tool. And, well, I consider myself as relatively young. So let's say relatively young people very often see software like SketchUp as the holy grail. Yeah, if you don't know SketchUp, you cannot be an architect. What is this? The people who program, the software engineers who program SketchUp are not good architects. No? There may be brilliant people in software engineering and those kind of things. So I think your own creativity should use the tools, whether it's this guy or whether it's software or whatever. Everything that is available, you should try it out and see what's best for you. Because you are a different person than you. So maybe for you it works much better not to build something in AutoCAD 3D, where you make a line, extrusion, another line, you build it. Maybe for you it's much better to sculpture. You start with the mass and you take out things. Yeah, a lot of industrial designers design like that. So I think for me it's like a palette of a painter. You have many different colors. If you only use one thing, then you get a certain outcome. I'm not saying that you should use everything, but at least you should be able to look at things. So architecture in the remote valleys of Afghanistan, or architecture in the high-tech environment of Bangalore, is not better or worse because of access to technology. Building in Bangalore can be absolutely fantastic. Building in Afghanistan can be absolutely terrible, but it can also be the other way around. So, I hope that answers your question.
Yes. I think, in other words, you're using, say, information technology as a tool and as a device of communication. But other than that, the amount of information that is available, which is available to everybody, a non-architect and an architect equally. So does that make a difference in your design? For example, I mean, is access to information of, say, for a client coming in and saying, I want this staircase, the one that looks like this, and I want a house that looks like that. Does that make a difference in your design process?
Not really. No. Because, let's do a little test. What is the name of the guy who made the master plan and a few buildings in Chandigarh? Chandigarh? Who did Chandigarh? Yeah, what's his name? Corbusier. What is his real name?
Pierre Jean.
Hmm?
Pierre Jean. Sean Kabir. I know
His real name is Charles Edward Jeanneret. Yeah? After 33 years, he decided he needed a new name. He took the name of his grandmother. He didn't even copy-paste it correctly. He meshed it around a little bit because it was actually the real meaning of it in French was not so good. You can ask Stefan. And he called himself Le Corbusier. Yeah? So the access is available on the internet. But I find that hardly anybody who's interested in architecture know that the real name of this guy is Jeanneret. People in Chandigarh have tested it out. They just what? Jeanneret? No, his name is Le Corbusier. They start defending this guy. So access to information doesn't mean being informed. The moment you have a huge amount of choices, I lived in London for a couple of years, every evening you can go to 230 movies, different movies. Once I counted them. A little bit nerdish, but I just wanted to know. Every evening 230 movies. It doesn't mean that you become a movie specialist when you live in London. But you have the availability of going to see these different movies. So I think that's the case. Living there or being there doesn't mean, if you live in Chandigarh, it doesn't mean automatically that you know Mr. Jeanneret.